already covered prickly pear fruit, but the rest of the plant is pretty great too. We have a spineless variety growing outside our fence line, and I have to prune it back pretty regularly to keep it away from the sidewalk, as well as keep them from toppling over because they can get kind of top heavy. You just twist off the pads or cut them off. I bin the unhealthy looking ones, but keep ones with kind of a sturdy base that are larger for propagation. You just dry them out a little bit and then stick them in the dirt after a couple days. Also ones that are kind of unique looking, I like those. These are the smaller, younger ones, and they are what I call eaten size. Here are some that I've propagated, and they're pretty healthy. Some get these kind of crazy looks to them, all weird. I call these guys my ugly pricks, but I actually love them looking weird like that. It's a lot of fun, and it's super easy to do. So the next step in these, they've been in the fridge now for a couple days. I did the pruning on Saturday, and it is now Tuesday, but they keep pretty well in the fridge, and they're all washed and ready to go. And the next step, that says that they're spineless, it just means that they don't have those big thorns that'll stick you. But they do have some of the little hair-like ones. Wherever these dots are, they have the glochids, which are the little microscopic ones, which I feel like are even worse because they get embedded in your skin and you can't find them, and they're too small to grab with tweezers. So I am showing some precaution here with the glove, but sometimes I can grab it with my bare hands as long as I'm really careful, but I'm kind of in a hurry, so I don't have time to fiddle around with it too much. But you just take a knife, a fillet knife works really well for this, but I don't have one, and just kind of skim it along the surface here, and you'll catch all those little bumps with the glochids. It's all right if you take too much off, that's fine. And just you can just scrape those right off. And then you also want to get the ones around the edges. And I just trim it all the way down. Get the end too. You know, if you run it both ways, you'll get them all for sure. Right now these babies are all clean and safe to handle barehanded. At this point you could cut them into strips for cactus fries, which are delicious. And if you do that, I would recommend letting them sit in some salt first and then rinse it off, because they are full of this kind of slimy goo. Sounds gross, but that's the stuff that is really supposed to help with managing your blood glucose. It's a healthy thing to have in your diet. It's kind of like the clear stuff that you have in okra as far as texture goes. But if you're deep frying, it helps to get them dried out a little bit so you get them nice and crispy. But I'm going to make a frittata, so I'm just going to do more squares. While those are cooking away, I am going to prep some things from the garden to add to our frittata. First of all, I've got some lovely red amaranth leaves. It seems to be the only thing the garden is producing right now, thanks to the lack of rain we have. One little toy onion. That's a kind of native onion that we have here. Never know if I'm pronouncing that right. And some garlic chives. In addition, some store-bought ingredients, a little cheese, and some jalapeno pepper from the store because I suck at growing peppers. Yeah, getting some good color on it right now. And goo, the kind of snotty goo, started to evaporate. I'm going to go ahead and add the amaranth greens so they can cook down a little bit, the toy onions, and the jalapenos. Preparation for the eggs, I turned it way down low and added a little more butter. I'm just going to add, this is 2 eggs with a little splash of milk. I like it just enough to hold the veggies together, really. Just about like that. I'm going to let it cook a little bit, and then I'm going to stick it under the broiler with some cheese. There we have it. All done and cheesy. So slip it in here, or you can flip it over, do it the smart way, but I like to make my life difficult, and do it right side up. Alright, there we have it. Dressed and ready. But yeah, full of good veggies. A ton of cheese and butter too, but let's not talk about that.